Are you able to build muscle and lose fat at the same time? What is up guys, Austin here, welcome to the video, and today I'm going to be going over one of the most controversial topics in the fitness industry. Are you able to build muscle and lose fat at the same time? And so I also used to be a big believer in bulking and cutting, where you can only build muscle while bulking and only lose fat while cutting. And of course this was perpetuated throughout the fitness industry. I believe for like 5 years I thought that you had to be bulking or cutting. You had to eat a shit ton of food or you just had to starve yourself. It was either one way or the other, and that there was no in between. If you were able to do both at the same time, then you were definitely on steroids. But I'm here to tell you today that it is definitely possible to do both and do it naturally. In fact, people think that steroid use is just some magic pill that lets you do whatever you want. In fact, people who are enhanced or natural just have to do the same things, but it's just that people who are enhanced get results way faster than if they were to do it naturally. That's the only big difference between steroid use and being natural. Of course, that's another topic for a different video. And of course, there are 3 things that I think must happen if you want to be able to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. Of course, the way this works can vary from person to person. If you are someone who is new to the gym, then obviously you can put on more muscle more quickly and lose fat at the same time. But if you're someone who's more advanced and has been doing it for a while, then obviously you're not able to put on muscle at such a fast rate while losing weight, but it still can be done. And of course, in order to achieve this holy grail of bodybuilding or fitness, to be able to lose fat and build muscle at the same time, personally I think that there are 3 things that have to happen. And the first thing is obviously you have to be in a calorie deficit. There's no way around this. You cannot break the laws of thermodynamics. If you want to lose fat, if you want to lose weight, then you have to be in a calorie deficit. The amount of calories that you are taking in has to be less than the calories that you are expending. And of course, the next question that goes along with this is how many calories of a deficit should I be in? And my answer would be to be in a small deficit. How much of a deficit? The smallest deficit that you can be to lose weight, but at a very slow rate. I would say somewhere in the ballpark where you are losing about a pound of fat a week or even less. And the only exception to this is if you're extremely overweight, then you obviously have more energy to spare. You have more body fat, therefore an excess amount of stored calories. So you can probably get away with losing a couple pounds or even a little bit more than that. I would not go too far and just starve yourself and drop a bunch of weight. And then the second thing that has to happen is that you have to be eating enough protein in order to build muscle. And this again can vary from person to person. If you're someone who just likes to eat a lot of protein, then by all means eat a lot of protein. If you're someone who just wants to eat a moderate amount of protein, then eat a moderate amount of protein, but you definitely don't want to go too low. Personally, I recommend eating around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That is more than enough for your protein needs. It's a good amount of protein and it's just an easy number to remember. And then the third thing that has to happen is that you obviously have to be strength training or doing some sort of resistance training. Because if you don't have a stimulus for your muscles to grow, if you don't give them a reason to grow, then they will obviously not grow. And so you just want to be doing some sort of resistance training to push yourself and progress every workout. You definitely just want to keep going and work harder than last time. And this can come in many forms. You can increase the amount of weight that you're doing, you can increase the amount of reps, increase the amount of sets, decrease your rest time, the list goes on and on. As long as you're pushing yourself to do better than you were before, you will see progress. This is known as progressive overload. It's just giving your body a progressively overloading stimulus in order for it to adapt. Because if you don't push yourself, then your body will have no reason to be better, be stronger, be fitter, unless you push yourself. And a good way to keep track of your performance is to write down your workouts. Write down what you did for the day, write down how many sets, how many reps that you did. That way you can have like a tangible record of how well you did. And that way, during times when you kind of feel demotivated, you can look back probably 3 months ago and you see that, oh, I was doing this amount of weight for this amount of reps, and then now you're doing so much more and you just feel motivated to keep pushing on. Because let me tell you, when I wake up in the morning, I am not always motivated to go to the gym. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing it. Sometimes I just kind of lose my purpose. But I always keep a record. That way I can look back and remember why I started in the first place and why I should keep going. And it just kind of reignites that flame that drove me to do what I love in the first place. And it allows me to keep going and keep pushing further and further and push me to be my best every day. And I just want to be able to pass that feeling on to you guys. And then the last thing I wanted to stress, and I probably say this in every video, but it's definitely going to take hard work, dedication, and a ton of patience. Because muscle building is a long and slow process. In fact, it is even harder than losing fat. If you just wanted to lose fat by yourself, that would be an easy task. You could just cut a bunch of calories and then just drop weight like crazy. But of course you would lose a lot of muscle along with that. You wouldn't really retain much muscle. And no one just wants to be skin and bones. People want a little bit of definition. They want a little bit of strength, a little bit of fitness in there, along with being able to lose fat. And so that is why I encourage you guys to go slow and steady on this journey, because slow and steady progress is equal to long-term progress. And the longer you are able to keep that weight off and build muscle and sustain that process, the better off you will be, and you will thank yourself for taking it slow and steady. Because one of the things I really want to drive home today is that any progress is still progress. No matter how slow, no matter how long it takes, it is your journey, and just take it slow and steady and enjoy life and be able to make progress while being able to enjoy the things you love, while not restricting, while just keeping things consistent. Because let me ask you this, is it better to lose 10 pounds in a week and hate yourself for that entire week, or would you want to do it in 4 weeks but be able to enjoy yourself for those 4 weeks and be able to live life to the fullest, not hate the process, and just enjoy life overall? And let me tell you, I've been through the whole bulking and cutting thing, and I regret every minute of it, because I would just go through phases of always trying to chase something that I could never get. I would always bulk until I got really fat and I just didn't like the way I looked. I would cut and then get really skinny, and I also didn't like the way I looked, and I just felt kind of miserable the entire time, always chasing for a look that I wanted now. And surprisingly, I'm able to sustain it, and I enjoy life, and I don't really restrict myself, and I'm just overall satisfied with where I am right now. And before that, I would always keep chasing. Not to say that you shouldn't have a goal to strive towards, but just being able to enjoy life in the moment as well as trying to achieve your goals is also a very important thing to manage. Because if you think that getting to an X amount of body fat or an X amount of muscle or an X amount of body weight, that you're going to be happy, you're not going to be happy. I believe that happiness is achieved when you are able to do the things you love, as well as being able to strive towards your goals. Goals are important. There's something to strive for, something to aim for, something you want to be able to achieve, but they shouldn't be your source of happiness. Happiness should be something that you are able to shoot for every day, just doing whatever you love, doing whatever you want. And I believe goals are something that you should incorporate that process of trying to achieve those goals, but that process should contribute to your happiness rather than the outcome itself. Man, I can't believe I just went on a tangent like that. Anyways, the 3 things that you need are a calorie deficit, which I recommend going slow, losing a pound or maybe 2 pounds if you are more overweight. If you're aiming to lose a pound a week, I would recommend a 300 to 500 calorie deficit than your maintenance right now. If you have more fat to lose, then you can eat a little bit less and increase that calorie deficit by a little bit, maybe by double, but I wouldn't go much further than that. Second thing is getting enough protein. That's about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. You can eat a little bit more protein if you want. You can eat a little bit less if you want. Just shoot for about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Some days you want to eat more, some days you want to eat less. That is completely normal. You don't always have to be 100% consistent 24/7. You are allowed to have these fluctuations. Think about it like this: whenever you sleep, you don't have exactly 8 hours every night, do you? Sometimes you go to a little bit over, sometimes you go a little bit under, but it all averages out to be the same. And as long as you are consistent and it averages out the same, then you will see results. This might look like inconsistency, but I think that if you are consistently inconsistent, but you're seeing results, then the results obviously are the results. Then you can just keep on doing what you're doing and the results will keep coming. And if something is not broken, then why go fixing it? And then the third thing is incorporate some kind of resistance training, whether it's going to the gym and lifting weights. I know gyms are still closed in some areas right now, but you can do body weight stuff. You can do some home workouts, just do some push-ups, do some pull-ups, do whatever resistance training is possible for you, and always just strive to do more. Maybe you can do 20 push-ups today and tomorrow you aim for 22 and you're able to get 22, and next thing you know, a couple weeks later you're able to do 30. And so just as long as you're pushing yourself to do better, you will build muscle, you will strain those muscles to adapt to do more next time. And so just track your workouts and just always push yourself to do better, and the results will follow. And so I'm just gonna end the video here because I've been ranting on for too long. So like the video if you enjoyed it and learned something that you can apply to your everyday life. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.